Hey, grand rising to you and also you. This is my second time saying it because we're over there on Instagram. I'm here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So excited to be here. And now we are live on Clubhouse. Grand rising, everyone. I am Tina. Some people like to call me StarzTina, and I'm so grateful, excited, and honored to be here. As we all know, yesterday was Easter Sunday. Some people like to call it Resurrection Sunday. And I love Monday mornings. I know years ago, I really didn't like Mondays. And a lot of people don't like Mondays. And years ago, I heard somewhere that a lot of heart attacks happen on Mondays because people just are dreadful. Like they do not want to get back to work, right? So I just want to start with saying good morning to some people because Breakfast with Champions on Clubhouse is my favorite place. It was there when I needed that friend. It was there for me when I was lonely and lost during COVID. Anyone been lonely and lost during COVID? That's how long I've been rocking with them, right? And Mary Lynn, I always like to give you some acknowledgement, but let's roll through and say some good mornings. Over there on Instagram, we have Pete. I don't know who's over here on Facebook or YouTube, but in the Clubhouse building, we have Coach Kelly, PJ, Dr. Pastor Jeff, good morning. I see Jackie. I see Tanya. I see Bella. Valerie, I was thinking about you this morning, girl. I was like, I hope Valerie's on today because Valerie's going to be in this topic. Valerie's co-hosting with me today. Maria! Hello, Maria. I see Patty. I see Don. Hello. And let's go on down. I see Ishman. I see Renee. I see Austin. Unison, Florenta, Tuti. I see my mother. Guys, in the chat, you got to give it up. It was my mother's birthday the other day. So grateful and honored. You know I hear my girlfriend Marquita would always say to me, because, I just got my personality, right? And she would say, Tina, stop talking to your mother like that, because she had lost her mother. And she was saying how she missed her mother so much and I needed to be nicer. So I love you, mommy. And, everything I say is through love. With that being said, I see John, I see Bridget, I see Angelica, I see Denise, Regina with a beautiful photo. I see Lou, you guys are just blowing it up in here. I love it. Wake somebody up. Share the room out right now. Rasul, Naheem, Kina, and Urja. I see you guys have pink tickets. Welcome to our family. Welcome to our crew right here. This is the best show. And really quick, highlight of the weekend or the week. On mic, I'm going to give you guys like a minute or two if you want to share your highlights for the weekend. Go! All righty. No highlights. Go ahead.
I'll share.
Hey, go ahead.
So the highlights for the weekend is I did a lot of growing as a result of an experience that could have gone really, really bad. Sometimes you have to let go of something so that you can feel the blood flowing through your body. Again, because, when you just hold so tight, your muscles are tight. And this is all figuratively speaking, but it's actually true. Like if you hold on to something so tight, your muscles start to hurt and you start to feel that ugly feeling of, that whole thing that comes with just clenching your fists just to hold on so tight. Oh my gosh, the relief when you release is so good. And the challenge is letting go. And sometimes it takes years and sometimes it takes a conversation. For me, it took a culmination of events. And I'm praying and hoping that the joy of releasing will show up in the months to come. But it also does help to have someone kind of help you loosen the fist.
I agree.
If you know what I mean. So yes, that's how I'm coming off this morning. So happy Monday, Tina. And
yes.
Love you so much.
I'm hugging you, Maria. So I love that right there. And today I wanted to go super deep into a conversation. We only have like 25, 26 minutes left, but we're going to hit hard. If you have questions, type it in the chat. But for those of you that don't know me, I'm a life and health coach. Fitness is my profession. Fitness is my foundation. And 14 or 13 days ago, I started 75 Hard. Now, if any of you know me, you know that I have tried this several times. I mean, like at least 4 times. And I was so focused. I was like, I'm going to do it. but I'm actually doing it now. And the craziest part is, in my mind, I already see the transformation in my body. I already see the transformation in my mind, in my business, in my finances, because that's why I'm doing it. Actually, it's not just for the way I'm going to look, but it's how I'm going to feel in my mindset, because it's all about mental toughness. Ooh, baby. Last night I was out there at 8:45, or maybe it was 9:30. I don't know, but I had to get my last workout and I did it, right? So I say that to say, sometimes in life we do amazing things and we kind of forget the amazing things that we do, and we have to keep them top of mind, because sometimes we get a little low, right? So it just really blows my mind that I have actually transformed the lives of over 100,000 people. Just thinking about that number. And I still can't believe that I actually won an Emmy award, a real Emmy, for sharing my story, my son's story. And I still can't believe that I've written 3 books. Me write a book? Like, are you serious? Make a children's program, win a speaking contest? Like, these things just blow my mind. But you know what? It hasn't always been this way. I actually remember the highlight, I can say the highlight reel, and we're going to do this really quick. Back in 2016, my life was like, I just felt like Wonder Woman. Everything was wonderful. Has there ever been a time in your life when you just felt like everything was cruising kind of very good, right? That's where I was. I was at the height of my career. I was living in New Jersey, teaching about 20, 22 classes a week, all the classes you can think of. My body was fit. My mind was right? My daughter, everything she wanted was working out. She was a professional dancer for Knicks basketball team. And my son, he had 2 successful sneaker stores. I mean, we were just rolling, and it was just like, hey, all we do is win, 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 no matter what. It was great, right? And I was in my 40s, late 40s. And if you're a woman of a certain age and you've never been married, you probably feel, I'm never going to get married. That's where I was. But I didn't think that way. I was like, I'm going to get married someday. And anyone ever been on dating apps? They kind of suck, but that's what we have to do these days, right? And I went on this dating app and I met this guy and I was like, okay. And I remember one of the dates. Now, I worked a lot, okay? So most of my life I've worked a lot. And when I mean a lot. So much that I didn't even tell him I had to take off of work to go on our date. We went on a date on a Saturday, we went hiking, and I remember it so clearly. We were at the top of this mountain and we took a picture and he started praying for us. And I was like, ding 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 ding. You always have that moment in a relationship where you know that's the person. I remember we took a picture, and the next day I went to my girlfriend Deborah. I was like, Deborah, this is gonna be my husband. Mind you, this is like week 1, week 2 of us dating, just going on a date, right? And then this one particular Friday was such a great Friday. I get up at, like, same now, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, teach my 5:30, 5 o'clock class, and we're in the gym and we're pumping. I don't remember the name we call ourselves, but we were crushing it, right? Came home, picked my son up because at the time he had surgery, so he couldn't see out of one of his eyes. And I take him to work, and we would call these mommy son times. If there are any mothers in the building, do you have any special rituals that you do with your children? Now, especially if my son was 21, and when they're 21, they're doing their own thing, right? And when he was a younger little boy, he never wanted mommy around. It was like, I'd be at a game and he'd ignore me. But now he's 21. He was just like, that's my mama. And I'm driving him to work, and a Lil Wayne CD just came out. So he's blasting it in the car. And if you know anything about Lil Wayne, he's got a potty mouth. He curses a lot. And I do not like cursing. So I'm like, turn it off. And we're just screaming at each other back and forth in the car. And he finally turns it off. And he's talking to me about his girlfriend, Tati, because he loved Tati. He was always talking about Tati and about how many children they were going to have. And it was just a great time. And we did this every single morning. So this particular morning, I'm dropping him off at the store, and I look over at him in the car, and it's very cold because it's February. And if you've ever been in New Jersey, the end of February, I papi chulo, it is cold. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and I'm like, wow, You sure do have a handsome son, Tina. You did a good job. I'm just like proud of myself. Like parents, has there ever been a point where you're like, I did a good job? Yes. You see your kid succeeding, Marilyn, her son is getting married. She's like, yes, I did it, right? That's where I was that day. And I'm looking and the sun ray is coming through the window and it's going right across his face. And I can see it so clear. I'm so proud. And he kisses me on the cheek. He gets out the car and says, I see you, Mom. And then I go on with my day. And girls, you got to have that girls' night out, right? Like I said, my life was like rocking and rolling. And me and my girlfriends, we went to Maggiano's. And if you've ever been to Maggiano's, again, I papi chulo, the food. And in Princeton, Princeton's amazing. And then I go out with my date, right? I got a date that night with my boyfriend. So I'm sitting on the couch, he's in the bathroom, and I get a phone call from someone, one of my daughter's friends, because her friends were my friends. Like, I want to know who they are. And the little girl's on the phone. She's like, Miss Tina, something happened to Molly. It can't be true. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Because if you have kids, they always get into stuff, right? It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. And then my daughter called and she's screaming. She's like, Mom, where are you? And I'm like, I'm in such and such. And she's like, get to Rahway now. Something happened to Molly. I look at the phone. I'm like, okay. Again, I'm still not concerned. I'm just like, okay, because he's gotten into car accidents. He's been, Atlantic City and issues, just like all sorts of stuff. So I'm not worried. So I'm driving down the highway and I call him, no answer. I call the store, no answer. I call his friends, no answer. Now I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because my daughter's in New York City, so she's on her way over to New Jersey. And I call his dad and I said, we don't know where Molly is. Call the police, call the hospitals, just call everybody. So, because where I was and where the shop was, it was about a 45-minute drive. But at this point, am, I am speeding. I am speeding down the highway. Okay. And I remember I'm thinking, okay, what can I do? What can I do? Where can I go? And I called the mayor of the town because I'm like, the mayor's got to know what's going on, right? He was a friend of mine and I called him and he said, where are you? Now, mind you, it's about 9:10 at night, so it's late. And when I hear this, I'm like, he tells me to go to the police station. No, he says go to his office. And I'm like, why does he want me to go to his office? That's weird. Now, mind you, 9 o'clock, City Hall is closed. So I go to the police station. They're not giving me any answers. I'm like, forget this. So I go to his shop. So I run, I speed down the road because it's right around the corner from the police station. And I look out my window. It's dark, very dark. At this point, it's probably about 9:30. And as I look down the road, I see yellow and black caution tape blocking off the entire street. And it's lots of people because I'm at the end of the road. They block the whole road off. So I jump out the car. And at this moment, my heart begins to race because I have no idea what's going on. Have you ever been in a situation and you see what's happening? You see the stuff that's going on, but you don't know what's happening? That's me. So I get out the car and I'm running and I'm running and I'm running. Whew. And then I pull the door open and they won't let me in. The police officer grabs me from behind. And he's like, I'm sorry, miss, you can't go in. And I'm looking and everyone's just standing around still, like frozen, like sardines. And nobody's saying anything. And right now, as I'm sharing this story, I can feel the coldness. I can see the dark sky because it was absolutely dark outside. At this point, I'm so mad. I tear my coat off. And I'm walking around just asking, where is my son? Where is my son? And I see two police officers standing there. It's a man, it's a woman. And I walk up to him and I said, excuse me, sir, where is my son? He says, I'm sorry, your son is dead. I was on the phone with my daughter at the time because she didn't want to get off the phone. She was on the train. And I threw the phone down, and every single emotion, I could feel it in my belly. It was this tight pain, this tightness, and it rose up to my throat. I was screaming, I was yelling. I could not believe what was going on. And at that very moment, I realized I had to make a decision. Tina, okay, are you going to be mad, angry, go into the ball of a shell, never come out, go, try to commit suicide, like every negative thing, because I have gone through many traumas and tragedies in my life. I've gone down that road and I know what it looks like. It's scary. And if you've ever had a trauma or a tragedy happen in your life, it's a downward spiral. And I did not want that road. Whew. So I said, okay, girl, chop, chop. This is what's going on in my head. You got to get it together, right? Got your daughter, you got your family. So I decided that day, there comes a point in your life you have to stand 10 toes down and make a decision. Are you going to push through? And that's what I decided to do. I'm going to fast forward to today because we don't have time for all the details. But today, what I have learned is that through praying, community, trusted in God, all things are possible. I learned that when you make a decision, I've learned when you share your story, sharing your story, so many things can change, right? I like to think of it: pain, pencil, purpose. We all have that pain. We've got that pain from something. So once you get that pain, pick up a pencil, a crayon, a marker. I don't care what you pick up, but pick up something and start writing, journaling, right? Journaling. For me, this book, journaling was my safe space. Journaling was my home. Journaling was my sanctuary when I couldn't speak, when I couldn't get the words out of my mouth. And from this book came this book, No More Tramuedy. And this book is a tool to teach people how to push through their traumedies. Now, some of you hear me and you're like, what is she talking about, traumedies? That's no such word. Yes, it is. It's a word I got trademarked. Traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. Now, when this occurs, life-changing experiences occur, and it happens to everyone. But today I want to go a little bit deeper with a word called epigenetics. Do me a favor, type in the chat right now if you've ever heard of this word, epigenetics. And the craziest thing that I've learned this past weekend, or shall I say week, because Valerie's been a part of this, whatever that happened to me, is a lot of the things I've been doing and saying and studying naturally. It's even deeper. But epigenetics, let me see who's with me. Epigenetics. I know Valerie's heard of it. Coach Kelly said she's heard of it. Well, let me tell you, epigenetics is the science of how your behaviors and environment influence how your genes work without changing your DNA. So pretty much it affects your DNA, meaning your chromosomes, how you're born. But guess what? You can change those things, right? And I realized that movement, fitness is one of the major ways of how to change your traumas, right? So three truths I want to share with you really quick about the power of epigenetics. First of all, trauma can leave markers on your genes, not changing the DNA, but changing how they turn on and off. So if you're wondering why am I mad? It's because it's in your genes, in your body, in your blood. The second thing, trauma can leave biological sticky notes on our genes, which are passed down from 7 generations. So it's not just your anger, it's your mother's mother, like way back there. If you're wondering why you get mad or angry, certain things trigger you, it's back there. Right? Certain people, certain words, certain sounds. The third thing that epigenetics does, unhealed trauma can cause anxiety, health issues, and being stuck in survival mode. I'm Papi Chulo. I got this eye-opening yesterday, right? Most of my life, I was in paycheck to paycheck, survival mode, like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this, just like scarcity mindset. No, God has not built us for that, people, right? But we got it from this epigenetic stuff, right? Peace, pain, purpose. We've got that pain. We've got to turn that pain to the pencil to the journaling, right? Journaling, journey, Jesus. So with journaling, journaling's going to be your safe space. That's going to be the space for you to share your story, for you to get it out, right? And then after you journal, you're going to be on a journey of success, a journey of happiness. It's not easy. It's challenging. And welcome everyone over there that's on Instagram. I see you and I love you. Today we are talking about epigenetics. We're talking about trauma. We're talking about tragedy. Put those two things together, you have Tramuedy. And Tramuedy is when your world is shocked and you don't know how to get through it. So the three things I wanted to share of how you can actually push through this pain that you may possibly go through. The first one is fitness. And from day one, like yesterday when I was out on the streets, because I told you I had to be out there for my 75 hard, right? I'm just like practicing my speech because I got a keynote this Saturday. And I was going to talk about one topic, sharing your story, because sharing your story is what helped me change my life, right? But I'm like, girl, you are so much more than an author, so much more than a publisher. Like, fitness is my thing. Fitness was there for me, guys. Like, I remember it so clear that the next week after my son was murdered, I went back to work. People thought I was crazy. What am I going to do? Sit at home and cry? Plus, I got to pay the bills, right? I couldn't just stop. And the exercise was my therapy. The exercise was my fuel. Like, I was on the treadmill. I'm sorry, not treadmill, Stairmaster, teaching classes, like getting that anger out. And you are in control of your mind. Let me tell you guys, I'd be in the car right before class and I'd be like, not just crying, like we need a special word. I got to come up with another word for that crying where it's just like that ugly cry. Like, you can't breathe, you can't talk. It's like you lose it. You've had that cry before. And I would have that cry and literally have to teach a fitness class. I'd have to be motivated and excited. I'm like, okay, girl, get it together. And then go inside and smile and be happy and teach that class. That's what I did. Fitness was the one thing I did to help push me through my trauma. The second was writing, journaling. And the third one, community. Yes, I currently am a part of so many communities. And the time during COVID was when I started building my community. And I absolutely love my community. And I don't even want to say our, because it's not me, right? It's an our thing. It's a Renee, it's a Carla, it's my mother, it's Chris, it's Betsy, it's Valerie, it's Aisha, it's everyone that's there. I love it. So community was the third thing that empowered me to stay strong, that kept me up. Right. And we have all sorts of communities. You may have a community at your church. At my church, I'm a part of a community called Chosen. And these women are absolutely amazing. You may have a community at your school, at your job. If you're not a part of a community, I want to invite you to join one. And maybe you're like, girl, I don't like people. I don't get along with people. Like, start your own. All right. I get it. I don't like people either. I love people. So as I come to a close today, we're talking about epigenetics and how you can change the way you think, change how you feel. For me, I did it through fitness, through journaling, and through fitness, journal, and community. Yeah, so I want to invite you to my community. I'm actually starting an 8-week program the first week of May. And it's my signature program for the book, No More Tramuedy. And I'm adding a few things to the book. So it's going to be a relaunch the end of the year. And it's an 8-week program in here. And if you're that person and you feel kind of stuck, you might be stuck in your career, stuck in your relationship. Like, why isn't this relationship working? Why am I not making money? What's going on? Have you ever felt that way? This is the program for you. If you're stressed all the time, if you can't sleep, is there anyone out there that has trouble sleeping? Like, why can't I sleep? This is the program for you. If you're tired of running on empty, and you know that there's a better life for you, this is definitely the program for you. So what I'm offering today, I have a special offer for everyone here, the group coaching program. And Renee is going to put all the links in the chat if you want to schedule a private one-on-one. With this group coaching, it's 8 weeks long, and you actually get 2 sessions, one-on-one sessions with me, which is so amazing. You also get the opportunity to come to all of our events, be a part of the anthology. We have a retreat coming up the end of the year that I am so super excited about. And special price for this right here, it's normally $1,200, but for today, it's just $600. That's it. $600 to be a part of this 8-week program and all the goodies that I have. And then you're probably saying, I don't need all the goodies, Tina. I just want the 8-week program. If you only want the 8-week, it's $197. I'm not going to go into details with all that. Click the link if you want more details. Go in the chat because I want to hear from you. If you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, and you want to share your thoughts and comments about today's topic, please type in. Otherwise, I leave you with this one little thing today. Jesus is my healer. Jesus is your healer. And he's the one that's going to turn your pain into a purpose. He's the one that's going to turn your ashes into abundance. He is the one that's going to turn your journaling into joy-filled testimony. So today, I want to invite you to just let your light shine. We all have a light inside of us. You have to open up your heart, let it in. Let your light shine. Do it scared, do it bright, do it all those things. All right, I'm going to pause. On mic, say your name. Let me hear from you. All righty, we may have no one saying anything, which is cool. That just means that I did an amazing job. All righty, guys, in these final 5 minutes, I want to share an exercise with you guys that you can do that helped me. And yeah, we have time for this. So if you're sitting or if you're laying in bed, I want you to close your eyes because breath work is so important. And I've done the breath work here a few times, but today I want to go a little bit deeper because when we were in class on Saturday, we did a stretching class. I decided to call it Soft Saturdays. We used to have like extra hard Saturdays, but I decided to do Soft Saturdays because doing 75 hard, let me tell you, my weeks are tough. So this one particular exercise we were doing, stretch I'm talking about, take your head and lean your head to the right so that your right ear is falling towards your right shoulder, and take your right hand and put it at the top of your head and then press your shoulder down and hold this here ever so gently. And then you can also rub your hand from the top of your face all the way down to your shoulder. And as you're here, you want to inhale and exhale as you bring your hand down. Everything's gentle, gentle, gentle. And my girl Valerie was saying how this is, what did you say, Valerie? The biggest muscle, it was something with a V, she said.
Yes.
Go ahead, girlfriend.
V for Valerie. Good morning, everyone.
Hey,
it is the vagus nerve. These are vagus nerve exercises. Stretch it.
And tell us about this, girlfriend.
So the vagus nerve is the largest nerve in the body. And if you do stretching, especially this particular one, there's several, but this particular one will relieve stress and any trauma, negative, limited beliefs. It'll start releasing from your body because you activate the vagus nerve, and it calms your parasympathetic nerve, your central nervous system.
Oh, yeah. So if you're watching me and you're feeling this, you notice I did a little stretch to the right, a little stretch to the left. I did a nice little circle roll right there. Someone's writing in the chat. Let's see what we have going on in the chat. Any questions? Can you heal? I don't understand your question. Can you heal alpha male? What does that mean exactly? So I felt great after that stretch right there, crew. Finalizing this piece right here, you have to find out what works best for you, right? I talked about the journaling for yourself. I talked about the community, right? And another cool thing, I would do a video for you guys where we're kind of out of time, testimonials, because I love a really, really good testimonial, right? And this past week, we are now doing 21-day challenges. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh my gosh. 21-day challenges are great. And this week, we're on our week 3 of our 21-day challenge. And we have so many great transformations that have occurred in this time already. From people losing between 2 to 5 pounds in 1 week, from people who have diabetes, lowering their blood sugar like that in 2 weeks. let me tell you, when I'm hearing these transformations, when I'm hearing these testimonials, I am so proud. I'm so grateful that God has gifted me with the ability to have energy, right? And I partner with high elite achieving women who have gone through some type of trauma and they want to transform their life. So if you're that person and you're tired of being stuck, you're tired of being confused, you're tired of not being able to sleep, of being confused about certain things, and you're just kind of stuck, this is the person you want to go to. I am Tina. I am here on Mondays. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, you can go to my website. I am Stars with a Z Tina for a one-on-one call, or if you have a question, join our community. We have our meetings Monday nights. So tonight at 7:30, if you want to get in on the group fun stuff, join us. Otherwise, I will see you all. Well, next week is going to be Health Wells at 5 a.m. So you'll see her then. Otherwise, so grateful to be here. Bye, guys. Peace and a bottle of hair grease.